Sean in New Jersey.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, you guys hear me?
We sure
Yeah.
can.
All right. Well, thanks for taking my call. I'm a long-time listener and first-time caller.
Okay, welcome.
I was calling in regards to the Paris shootings that happened recently.
Yeah, terrible.
Okay.
And, I was listening to a podcast that Sam Harris did recently, and he basically was addressing the reaction that a lot of news media had in regards to the killings. And it seems like a lot of people don't want to address the issue of Islam and the problem of these people taking the book literally and actually acting out on what the book actually says.
I don't know who Sam Harris is talking to that he doesn't think that they are objecting to fundamentalist Islam or terrorism. Because,
Okay.
I mean, it
saw a
sure
couple-
sounded to me like everybody who said anything about the Charlie Hebdo shootings, except for ISIS and Al-Qaeda maybe, universally condemned the shootings, and that includes a whole lot of Muslim leaders.
Let me ask you a question. Are you
sure.
white?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that the same week an NAACP building was bombed here in the U.S.?
No, I had no idea.
Do you condemn that?
I do.
Why haven't you A, heard about it, or B, gone out publicly condemning it? Like, I would expect you to go right now on your Facebook and say that you publicly condemn it, you do not agree with the things that those white people did, and you are ashamed to be white.
Yes.
Does that feel like a fair thing
Well,
to
I
ask?
wouldn't say I'm ashamed to be white. I'm ashamed of their actions. Clearly that's a terrible thing that they did.
But do you feel like you should be responsible for making that apology public and disagreeing
you mean
with
like an
the
apology
history
on behalf of white people?
Yeah, disagreeing with the history of white people.
No, certainly not. That's that wouldn't be accurate.
Right.
Because you're not responsible for, the extremist things that a
Right.
small group of people that you happen to belong to.
Yeah, I
carried
think
out.
that Sam Harris is mistaken when he says things like people don't condemn the shootings. But I also think that there is a certain impulse to basically run and hold all Muslims accountable to the point where there was like a CNN anchor the following week, Don Lemon, who went out of his way while he was talking to a Middle Eastern diplomat to say, by the way, do you support the actions of the Charlie Hebdo shootings? And the diplomat was just floored. He was like, are you kidding me right now?
Right.
And I think that was a perfectly reasonable reaction to have. Now, terrorism in all forms is absolutely inexcusable. Religiously motivated terrorism, no less so.
Yeah, I mean, another example is consider the fact that right now prisoners of the U.S. Were being, anally raped with this anal feeding, in Guantanamo Bay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Do you
Yeah, I've heard
condemn
that.
that? Have you ever said a thing to condemn it? I mean, this is a thing that everyone knows is going on and is kind of tacitly accepted.
I definitely condemn it.
And it's a horrible thing, but it's not getting the same kind of scrutiny, and it's not getting the same kind of, why is this allowed? Why is this even a thing? We need to stop it. We can't accept this at all. It's just kind of, that's kind of weird.
Did you guys see Sam Harris on the real-time episode when Ben Affleck was on, and he was basically addressing Islam, the root cause of the problem with the fundamentalism, is in, the Quran. It's like if you take the book literally and you adhere to the literal word of the book, then, you're capable of, doing terrible things.
I listened to it via
he kind of
podcast.
was scrutinized by that, I think.
Well, the literal words of the Constitution say that that black people are 3/5 of a person, so...
Yeah,
it is not good in general to take anything on blind trust and faith.
Right.
And I think
agree.
that was a
I'm
point
atheist,
brought
by
up
the
with the
way.
previous
I
caller.
definitely am in agreement with you guys as far as to use critical thinking and insofar as to not take the little word of a book that's been written thousands of years ago. I guess I just feel like the national conversation on Islam right now is just a touchy one. It seems like
Oh,
some
sure.
people are. It just seems like everybody wants to not blame Islam in regards to the ideals and why these people actually put AK-47s in their hands and shot people.
I think it's absolutely true that that religious extremism, that any particular religion, when taken way too seriously,
Right.
can lead to violence. And I think,
Right.
and I absolutely do agree that there are a lot of very disturbing sects in the world who are Muslims specifically, committing a lot of terrorist acts, and I am opposed to that.
I agree. I mean, I know there's other factors involved in why these people do what they do. I know that it's not just religion and their belief that causes this to happen. So, I mean, I guess,
I feel like the thing that you want from us is like a kind of like an "I'm not racist" plaque.
well, I
You
mean,
know,
I'm just
you're
addressing-
kind of coming to like two white people and you're saying, man, those things those Islamic people did, that was bad, right? And I can say that Islam is bad still, right? And that's not really a blanket thing that I'm comfortable giving out. So, I mean, they did bad
I
things.
agree with you. I'm not. I don't want you to misunderstand me because I do. I'm certainly in agreement with you that not all Muslims are capable of doing what these people have done.
Most Muslims aren't.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm addressing the reason why it happened, and when really just if these people weren't fundamentally religious, would they have still committed these acts?
I mean, it is certainly a reason why most people weren't. But like a few months ago, a guy shot up a university and specifically left behind a whole bunch of documents that he had posted that said he was angry because hot women wouldn't date him. And he
I
linked,
remember that, yeah.
and he linked to a number of like men's rights websites. And a lot of people rushed to say in that case that certainly it couldn't have been his ideology. It must have been his mental illness in some way. Now,
Right.
I think that what motivates somebody to do horrible acts like that is most definitely a combination of their ideology and their access to violent weapons,
Right.
and the mental state that they're in. Because certainly most sexually frustrated guys do not go around murdering people, but it takes a very special combination of mental state and ideology, motive, method, and opportunity, basically,
Right.
to push somebody into that very special place of committing mass murder. And I think that Islam is definitely one of those ideologies that can lead you there.
Right. I mean, I guess if you then apply the same logic of like bad, let's just say bad ideas, just the concept of believing a bad idea, and obviously you guys have had many conversations with creationists, people that deny scientific evidence because of their desire to just want to feel good about a belief they have. I mean, is it whether it leads to murder or whether it leads to denying science? I think that the point is just that addressing the problem with believing bad ideas, I think, is what
I
really
think
what I'm
We're
talking
very
about,
much
I guess.
against believing in bad ideas.
Yeah.
thinking that bad ideas can lead to these kind of violent things, though, worries me because it kind of gets to the kind of mindset of, well, that means I'm immune, so I don't have to worry about it.
Because I never have any bad ideas.
Because I don't have bad
Sure,
ideas, because I'm a
right,
skeptic. And it's the kind of reason why, sexual harassment is so prevalent at atheist conventions. It's because for a long time they didn't think that they had to deal with it because they're so rational obviously.
Are you
and
serious? Wow.
they wouldn't
no
do
idea.
that kind of thing. And so now they've kind of figured out, no, that actually is a problem. Maybe we should deal with
Yeah.
it. So, it's trying to say, oh, because I'm an atheist, because I'm a skeptic, I won't fall for something stupid like that that'll ask me to go so incredibly violent. But, that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that there are many different forms of bad ideas out there, and having the atheist experience is one way of combating one particular category of bad idea, and that includes Islam. But
Right.
that's not enough. We have to encourage people to be generally on guard for bad ideas, not only in other people, but in themselves.
Especially in
Sure.
themselves.
Especially in themselves, and
Sure.
Muslims too ought to learn that stuff.
Yes, I agree. But I mean, that applies obviously to many many theists of all types.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I guess that's all I really have to say, and I really appreciate you taking my call.
Well, that's good.
Great.
Thanks for
Thank
calling.
you.
We are out of time. We've got a few people backed up that we can talk to in the after show, but
Sure.
we'll see you all at El Arroyo. Thank you for watching. That's our show. We'll see you next